We are about to start. This is Robot Nuke. Now let's hear it for the man, the myth and the legend in his own head, Eric Nuke Hudson.
Okay, hello, everyone, all the ladies and gentlemen in the ships at sea. For the first time, I think I got everything running here for everything, including, believe it or not, for TikTok. It's a little bit behind on everything. Looks like we are like way behind. But at least I think everyone's going to finally see what everyone else gets to see on TikTok today. The only problem I have is I'm not going to be able to. Oh, I may be able to see everyone and talk to them. Let's see here. So let's go ahead and start going through. So today we're going to be covering, of course, as always, what the market is doing. And we're going to start talking about 2025 because that's going to be kind of interesting. So I'm going to try to cover a few little things for you. So let's go ahead and get into it. And let's see where the market is right now. So let's just go ahead and start off over the last 7 days. You know, we are getting into the holiday season here, aka Christmas. So look at here. In the last 7 days, we've had 792 new listings come on the market. 137 came back on the market. I've talked about this many times. A lot of these, you know, they go on the market, they fall out. In general, about 80% of the houses will sell, 20% will not. They're going to fall out for some reason. So always be prepared for that on both sides. Remember, earlier in the year, a lot more houses fell out. I've talked about this several times in some of my live streams and other places. I had a lot of houses fall out of the market, but talking to some other folks, they had the same issue. But it's gotten a lot better. We have had 727, look at this, 727 price decreases in the last 7 days. 727 price decreases. People are still doing this. I don't know why. They keep overpricing their homes. We are not in a market to overprice a home. You need to make sure everything you're doing is correct. And if you are a buyer, this is the perfect place to take advantage of those folks who are overpricing their houses, because I'm going to tell you right now, buyers don't care what you want for your house. This isn't 2021. When you do this, you're going to destroy yourself, because it's going to take about 45 days max for your house to be on the market. And what's going to happen is those folks are just going to go like, oh, it's been on the market this amount of time. I can offer less. And that's what's going to happen. Your house is going to become less and less desirable. 45 price increases. I rarely understand that. But sometimes I look at them and I see why. Many times I don't. Quick tell to tell, I actually had a listing one time. The individual, every time a new house came on the market, it will call me up and demand I raise the price of their house because it was better. Yeah, they went through 7 more realtors and ended up selling for significantly less. Don't play these games. Under contract show. We'll call it, what's that? 580 or so. But 612 sold. So as you can see, more listings are coming on the market than are selling or coming under contract. So our inventory is starting to grow. Again, this is not 2020, 2021. But this time of year, it normally does grow. Expireds 93. Believe it or not, that is up. These are not bad numbers for expireds, but it's actually getting folks are not being realistic, and they always will not be. but don't just try the market. Do, as Yoda says, do or do not try. Withdrawals, 206. Same thing for conditionals. These are people who are going like, people aren't paying my price. Well, it doesn't exactly work that way for you. Coming soon's 53. That is actually down. It's been closer to 100 for a while. Contingent on sales. I'm just going to treat them like under contract shows and everything. Let's get into the real numbers here, the nitty gritty. See what's going on. So right now we're at the 12th. In all honesty, the real estate market's going to shut down for about a week or so. This is a year-round market, unlike some parts of the country. If you were to go to the Midwest right now, Midwest is completely shut down. They're done. They've been shut down for about the last 6 weeks or so. Other parts of the country kind of shut down. Here, we're a year-round market. The only reason that I'll say things are kind of shut down is because it's Christmas time. People are going to be taking time off to visit their families and everything. But at the end of the year, between about the 26th, 27th, and New Year's, because even on New Year's Eve, you're going to see a lot of closings. So I'm going to say this is about the 40, 50th percentile. We're going to kind of see where things are going. So let's like look at the numbers right now and kind of see. So I'm just going to look active first. Let me get this out of my way. Shouldn't have had it there. So we're going to start and just look at, instead of total market, I'm going to look at single family residences first. This is so exciting. I think the people on TikTok are finally getting a better view than anyone else. I hope they can hear everything. So let's get in here. We're going to be looking at single family residences, and let's look at the results because there's so many of them. So right now on the market, we have 5,704. We ended the month with 5,570. So we've actually grown that a little bit. At the end of the month, we were at 3,000. I'm sorry, 3.4 months of inventory. We were close to the high median. I'm going to get to that in a second. Let's get on back here, look at condos and townhomes because they combine them for some reason. So 1955 compared to 1856. As you can see, the inventory is still growing. Anybody have any questions, go ahead and ask them. I'll try to get them answered. I don't know if I'm going to be able to answer on TikTok. What I had to do for TikTok to get this view is I literally had to take my phone because I couldn't mute my mic and have this show up at the same time, and take it and throw it into my someplace else and close the door so you wouldn't have that double voice thing. So I don't have the phone with me so I can respond. Hopefully I can figure that out at some point. Hold on 1 second. Test, test, test. I'm not getting feedback here. That's not good. Is anyone even hearing me on TikTok? See, before I could hear myself when I tested this. Maybe people are seeing a screen but not hearing anything. We'll see. So let's get on back. Whoops. Yeah, so we're up on condos and townhouses. Let's see what sold. So let's look at the month so far. We'll just keep it at condos and townhomes. Let's get rid of the actives. So far, 174 have sold. Ouch. 476 sold last month. That tells me we are I don't know. We may actually end up being about the same for the month. We'll see. So especially because of where we are, we got a couple of more days left for the half of the month, and we're going to have a flurry of activity at the end of the month. I think it's still going to be down, but we'll at least have something here. So I still say it's going to be down for single family homes. So far, they've sold 640 compared to 1647. If I had to guess, it's going to be down there also, no matter what. It is December. Let's see what the numbers tell us. The sales prices so far, we'll go with single family. It is actually down compared to the 480. Let's see what condos and townhouses did. So for that 174, we had 298 compared to 301. So it's down there too. So we'll have to see. It's still developing. It's kind of, really high right now still, but it's just really interesting. The prices are maintaining even with the high interest rates. If you look, we're at 6.87. They're not the highest, but they're not the lowest. So if you look right now, interest rates are 6.87. The jumbo are the FHA 6.25, VA 6.26. Again, I still recommend new homes. New homes are still the way to go. Right now, the price differential is not that big over a new home compared to a previously owned home. You get a house that feels new as compared to having to fight with an owner. Because let's just be honest, you're going to have to fight with somebody to try to get stuff fixed. Usually. Sometimes people will get stuff fixed, and then even with that, they may cut some corners. And then they're paying your closing costs and interest for most of them now. I don't know why they're doing it. They're almost 50% of the market here in Vegas. I can't speak for anywhere else. Let's go ahead and get some breakdowns. Oops. I'm going to just go with the whole market right now. So for the ones that have sold so far this month, actually, I'm going to use that last month. I should have put out my monthly update video. I haven't yet. I'm going to record it tomorrow, hopefully. Got a big event tomorrow, but we'll see. So if we look for last month, just look at sales, how many were cash. Because they said cash was really up in the Vegas area. And it's like in the top 5 in the country now. Let me drag this over here. I'll give you this. So 522 divided by, I should have had this in my mind before I did this. 2182. So cash is 24%. That is really down, way down. I almost want to talk about cash for a second. I got this house that I sold a few months ago, and it's really been funny. I have no idea what's going on. Somehow, this house must have ended up on some investment website. So almost daily, investors have been reaching out to me and no, trying to make offers on it. And let me see. Let's see. I'm gonna bring up something here. And even today, investors are reaching out. It's Christmas time, and I still can't believe they're reaching out. But it's just so funny. And then they're sending blind offers. The house was worth about oh my goodness, what is going on here? Everything's running slow. So, like, look, this is an offer from yesterday for a house that sold months ago that was worth about 425. I'm not going to show it to you because I don't want to dox this house or the owner or anything, even though they sold it. Uh, so I want to read to you. I wish there was a no, it's got the address. I wish there was a way for me to block it out. I should have brought this up and blocked it or something. So it's worth 425. So let me go through the options with you, because you always get these folks, they're going through like, oh, I want a cash offer. I want a cash offer. People don't understand how bad cash offers have gotten. So they got option one here. Purchase price, seller finance. Seller finance for 437,750. Wow, well, that's more than 425. Uh Seller gets 13,132.50 cash to seller at close of escrow. Seller will receive payments on the remaining purchase amount on a promissory note with monthly payments. Right. Buyer will pay realtor's commission of XYZ. I'm not going to say it. But, that's interesting. They're paying the commission. Buyer will pay a reasonable closing cost. Okay. 14-day inspection. Closing on before 30 days, as is purchase. I mean, look, this sounds good. Buyer will take over any solar payments. No, they can't. Most of these guys are LLCs. See, it says right here, XYZ Property Partners LLC. You cannot take over solar payments as an LLC. They won't let you do it. I've been through this before. So I don't even know why they have it there. It's just silly. More than likely, because it's seller financing, they're going like, shh, we won't tell them. They do a lot of we won't tell them in this. Buyer responsible for taxes, HOA, insurance, blah, blah, blah. See, here's what they do a lot of times. I don't know. It's these subject twos. I just don't trust these folks, because you transfer the title into their names. But if they default, it's on your credit. But they have option two. They'll purchase it for $276,250,000. $250. House is worth 425. Let's see what the other offer was. When was it? It was on November 25th. These aren't the one. So this is the ones who actually sent it. See what theirs was. Make sure it's not the same people. I just want to make sure. Different names for the people who sent it, but I want to make sure it's not the same ones. No, that one's XYZ Partners. This one is something else. What is their offer? They do an offer one and offer two also. But theirs is much better. Theirs is 331,500 in cash. Remember, bring me a cash offer. Bring me a cash offer. But the option two is like the same as the option one as the other folks, where it's everything's the same. I don't know how they. I mean, like, everything is the same. So that's what the cash offers are looking like now. Just so you know. Just so you know. Let's get back to this. I just like to point that out because You're always doing that. And back in 2020, 2021, the cash offers were great. They were above actually selling your house. And you have folks, even when you give them a cash offer, and it's like, this is better than your neighbor just got for their house. Can I get more? Man, the greed was out there. I mean, I've told y'all some good stories on what I saw out there. So let's see here. Let's just go to FHA. I'm not going to do the numbers. So FHA 408. I'm doing this because somebody asked these questions. Every time somebody asks a question, just put it out there. 180 for VA conventional. Because people say, like, I want to know what people are buying this. So about half for conventional. Take that out. Just bring it down to single family for a second. Then a number of 1-stories. So about half are 1-story. People are always looking for short sales because they think it's going to save money. Short sales were 6. Repos were 11. So you're seeing the numbers. There aren't any repos or short sales, and there probably aren't going to be too many. Most of these people with short sales and repos, like I think I said this last week, are people who put their heads in the sand, going, it's not going to happen to me. It's going to happen to you. Okay. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Let me check, see if I got any comments. Anybody asking any questions? No, none yet. Ask questions if you got them. I know there's delays and everything. Okay. See any other questions people have asked? Pools, 386. And I always like to put this one out there because so the least expensive house with the pool is 251. I'm not going to show it right now because I'm going to go into it and I'll tell you about it. Then I'll show you a picture. I just want to make sure there's nothing here that I'm not supposed to show you. So it's located in North Las Vegas, had multiple offers. I'm going to put it in a position where you can see the pictures. Remember, hold on, let me tell you some other stuff about it before I do this. Sold for cash. It was in poor condition. Interesting. It was originally listed for $299,900, sold for $251. It's on the market for 17 days. And we're about to see the pictures on it. I can't wait to see this pool. You know what? I think we saw this one last week. I'm positive we did. But we're here now. Let's see. And the pool is actually working. Good googly moogly. And it's got a diving board. For those of you don't know, you can't have a diving board anymore. So if you have a pool with a diving board, you don't get rid of that thing. Okay? Oh, let's see what else we got here. Let me turn this up. I don't know why I'm not getting any sounds because from here I should be getting sound. Unless there's something I haven't done, because I was getting sounds when I was testing. Did a lot of testing today trying to figure this out. Interesting. Actually, I had people while I was testing, I'd be on for seconds, and people were just joining the live stream on TikTok. Unfortunately, they don't have a good way to test real nice and everything. Okay. So we got that. Let's see any other questions people have asked me lately. Okay. Oh, don't have any more of that. Let me go in here, get back on me, and let's get to my agenda. So let's see here. Okay, so I'll just talk about this one. It's going to be beat into the ground. I know I've had people like, you talk to them and they're like, I don't want to sign an agreement to go see a house. It's silly. It is. And the reason you have to do this, it doesn't matter where you're at in the country now, it's because of the lawsuit. And one of the things when the lawyers were throwing everything at the wall to see what stuck is they said, well, in order for the seller to sell a house, they had to sign a contract. So it's unfair that the sellers had to pay a commission for somebody who didn't have a contract. So now there's a contract. So don't blame the realtors, blame the lawyers, but you can't blame lawyers because you can't sue them because lawyers don't sue each other. Huh. But right now, the Department of Justice, where were they at during the lawsuit? They're opposing it, saying, I mean, they probably should. But again, where were they at during the lawsuit when this stuff was being thrown around, saying, like, we oppose your motion? They weren't. Now they're coming in, tail end Charlie. One day I may tell you the tail end Charlie story. It's actually from a Tuskegee Airman. Guy was shot down during World War II, ended up in a POW camp by Lieutenant Colonel Carter. He was a lieutenant at the time. But yeah, coming in like months later, we oppose buyers having to sign a agreement. Where were they at during the entire process of the lawsuit when people were suing, saying, well, they didn't have a contract? Why don't you go back and go like, well, where were we at? Anyway, next. So right now it is, now part of this is talking about what's coming up for 2025. Right now it is looking like we're going to end up with 3.9 million homes sold. That's total for 2024. So you're probably going like, well, what does that mean? Well, that's almost half of what was sold in 2021. That tells you how far down we are. That is the lowest number of homes sold since something like 1995. And last month, you saw how little homes that was. That was a record low for like a generation. Again, you have to look, and I didn't get into it. Let's go here. And let's look at single family homes. And I'm going to take out, what is it? Yeah, pools. So I'm going to go and we're going to look at these results. I'm going to show you something. The median time on market last month for the homes that sold was 20. Oops, I didn't show it to you. Median time on market for homes that were sold last month was 24 days. Again, this is not 2021. Average time on market was 31 days. I'm sorry, 38 days. We're not in a market where your house hasn't sold in a week, 2 weeks, where you're calling your realtor up going, why hasn't my house sold? It is going to sit a bit, but be assured that you're going to get a decent amount. Because look at this. The list price to sales price is pretty good. Now, this list price to sales price Now, this can be fake because this number here is the final list price, not the initial list price. So houses are selling for 99% of the list price, which is way higher than historical averages. Unfortunately, the MLS doesn't pull up what the initial list price was to where I can easily just go like, yeah, because of all these prices, this is where it started at. I'm sure there is a way to do that, but it doesn't, make that easy. And the reason I want to bring that up real quick to you is it makes the market look better than it really is. Because traditionally, I think it's like 95, 96% is the average list to sales price. One of the reasons it takes 24 days on average and 38 days median. And you saw when we started this out how long all of those price reductions. You don't have to worry about those price reductions if the prices were the right price to begin with. The houses I sold real quick this year, they sold the ones that were priced right to begin with, sold within 1 day to 10 days. The one within 1 day had multiple offers, 10 days. The individuals actually called within a week, like, my house hasn't sold. What's going on? It's like, you got to get used to the new math. And it's 24 days median, 38 days average. And that is going way up. And these aren't even normal numbers because inventory, what do we have up there? Last month for a single family home, it was 3.4 months. Let me show you again here. 3.4 months and 3.9 months. That's the available inventory. So if your house hasn't sold, again, either wait a couple of weeks to see what the market does, or start looking at what's going on. Is it advertising? Did your realtor market it right? If you're not getting any showings and it was marketed, look at your pricing, look at your conditions. I've literally seen people who say, I need 48 hours of notification to show the house, but they don't get any showings. It's like, why my house hasn't been seen? It's because you have 48 hours in a normal market when everyone else is, even when it's occupied, is saying I need 2. Realtor can't. People don't want to wait 48 hours. That's the issue. So don't be the issue to sell your own home. Just giving you that advice. So let's see what's next on the agenda. I can go get some tacos. It is taco night. I know Tuesdays are tacos, but Thursdays are tacos also at Del Taco. Okay, getting into 2025. All the signs is there is a lot of pent up demand right now. Let's just be honest. We're sitting here, we're looking at these numbers for interest rates. I'll pull them up again for you. This is not good, but it's better than the 8% it peaked at. Some people are just going, you know what, I can't do this anymore. And they're starting to just do it. And right now, a lot of people believe that interest rates are going to start going down next year. And with that belief, we all know that once they hit that magical number, which is about 5% right now, that's the number everyone thinks everything's going to go nuts. I don't know if it's going to hit 5% next year, but if it does, it could be not as bad as 2020, 2021, but it's going to be like it was maybe like those you remember 6 years ago when, during the spring and summertime, when the good houses had multiple offers on them. yeah, that's what it's going to be like again at 5%, which is, in my opinion, crazy. So that pent-up demand, people are trying to secure the bag right now, or not right now. They're just expecting that next spring is going to be good, very good. So that's just my advice, or at least what I'm seeing and what the experts, I'm using rabbit ears here, what the experts are saying. Uh, the biggest problem that they're having, or we're having, or the economy is having, is right now we are still short on houses. We're like 4.5 million houses short right now. They're they're saying that baby boomers, let me see if I can pull this article up right, are sitting in their houses. They're not moving the way they used to. Let's see how this comes up. Come on here. Here we go. No, in the past, you had older people who would move into retirement communities, move down, to the single story houses and stuff. We got technology now. People are living in a different way. And baby boomers who you would expect to sell their houses are no longer selling their houses and everything. They're staying put. I mean, it's little stuff. I live in a 2-story house and I got bad knees. I'm a disabled veteran. And in all honesty, I don't plan on getting a single story house. When time comes, I'm going to send the VA out here and go like, y'all need to put a stair lift in. And I think a lot of people are thinking that way. I'm not a boomer. I'm proudly Gen X. I'm feral. But that's what's going on. They're not moving right now. And that is contributing to the housing shortage. And right now, as much as, I'm sitting here and I keep going like new houses, new houses, new houses. And it's mainly because I'm going new houses, new houses, new houses, because if you start stepping into some of these houses now, and then you step into a new house, it is a night and day difference. I'm not just harping it for no reason. I can't speak for the rest of the country. I can only speak for Las Vegas. In this valley, right now, and we'll see what happens under Trump. I don't want to get into the politics or anything. I'm just talking about we got a new president coming in January 20th, and he's talking some things about real estate, and we're going to see what happens. In Las Vegas, the available land that we have is 5 to 8 years. 5 to 8 years. What's the difference between the 5 to 8 years? How big of lots they build. If you've been looking around, notice how those lots get small. If they build them small, you got 8 years. They build them bigger, you got 5. Have you noticed that a lot of townhome developments are going in now? 8 years. What happens when the land is gone? No, really, I'm asking you what happens. That's when you end up in a California situation and you end up having to pay more and more. And this gets closer to a California thing. Uh, and you have to look at where we're at. If you start driving around, you'll start to see they're starting to build into the mountains now. How far can you build into the mountains? To the north, we have reservations, Native Americans. Only place they can build is down south. So there isn't much left. And as far as down south, that's government land. Hopefully, it'll get released by the government. I've talked about it before. The government wants what it's worth, and the builders don't want to pay what it's worth. They want to pay pennies on the dollar. So we're going to have to see what happens. if Trump releases it for pennies on the dollar, or does the land swap that Lombardo wants, the governor, we'll see. I mean, we maybe have some land, some housing. Thing is, we both know, or we all know, the builders are not going to go like, oh, wow. Because like right now, land in Las Vegas is worth $1 million an acre. When I moved here, it was actually like worthless. It's worth $1 million an acre now. I wish I bought some land. If they get it for, pennies on the dollar, you think they're going to pass those savings on to you? No, they were counting on that for profit. So, yeah. Don't have any questions. I'm looking out over everything. I don't think I can see questions over here. I'm almost wondering why I almost should bring, so I can't tell. It's like when I did this, and I did have this ability to show all this stuff on TikTok and how these people join us. So I don't know if I can, if anyone's seeing it, because I actually turned my sound back on. And I can't see it. When I was testing this, I could actually hear the videos. So I don't know what is going on. Maybe I can't see it because this is the screen, but man, this is really disturbing me. So maybe people on TikTok aren't getting this. So I'm going to go ahead and call this quits for now, or at least for a minute or so. And hope you guys enjoy it. And I'm going to go get me some tacos. And if you're watching the replay, you know what to do. Leave a question or ask a question.